Good morning, Shel Brodnax here with Real Estate Staging Association. I'm so excited today. We have the beautiful and very talented Sabrina Soto. Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited to have you.
I am thrilled to be here.
So you're speaking at our convention this year, and we appreciate that. Well, let's talk a little bit about real estate staging. So you started off this industry. You're probably the number one reason why thousands and thousands of women were watching HGTV with your show Get It Sold.
And they're like, if she can do it, I can do that.
They're like, we got to be able to do that. What do we have to do to make that happen? So tell us a little bit about your journey in getting into that actual show and why staging works and how it was so important.
You're never going to believe this story. I got into staging. My mom's best friend was a real estate agent and she needed help. And I was a designer and I had my real estate license as well. And so I would help her stage her houses, sometimes with my mother. And I really wanted to get back on TV. And one day I finished watching this movie called The Secret. I don't know if you've watched it.
I'm a huge proponent of The Secret.
Yes.
Very much a law of attraction girl.
So I was watching it one night and I said, I'm going to be back on TV doing my passion. And I didn't know how that was going to happen. So the next day I couldn't sleep and I just went on Craigslist to see, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, what was on there. And there was a post that they were looking for someone with TV experience who was a designer as well. So I sent in my reel, never thought anything of it again, kept living my life. And I got a call and it was for a different show on HGTV. But when I was in the interview, the executive producer asked me what I do for a living. I said I was a stager. And his face like sort of turned and I thought maybe he didn't know what staging was.
Right.
So I started explaining to him what staging was. He's like, no, I know what staging is. We're actually casting for a new show called Get It Sold.
Wow.
Yes, and so that's how it all happened. And Get It Sold was supposed to be just a daytime throw-in show that they didn't think was going to do well. And it became one of the top 10 shows on HGTV.
Yes, definitely, for sure. We all look back on that, and everybody was watching it, and the Trading Spaces was very big, and the different networks were coming out with these shows, and it's literally changed the way people sell real estate, and so many people have gotten into it. They wanted to do what you were doing, and I know a lot of people think it's so much fun to stage, because we were just talking.
It is fun.
It's fun, it is fun. We were just talking about the creative aspect, and I'm very much more of the business end of the staging, where there's so many people that really like the creative aspect of the staging. And do you do both? Are you into it's very left brain, right brain, so do you like the business, sales, and marketing end as much as the creative?
I would much rather do the creative work.
Yeah. See, you and I would make a great business team because I'd have you so busy, girl, you'd be saying, I need a vacation.
I've actually been thinking about going back into staging in some way, but I don't mind the marketing, it's the paperwork I can't stand.
Right.
I can't. It's like I will do anything. I will clean my house 10 times before I sit down on my computer to finish paperwork.
Yep. And see, I can sit at the computer for 17 hours a day and just keep cranking it out. So when you were staging, I know one of the biggest issues with real estate stagers today is to be able to get the point across to agents. Why does this work? Why do you need to do this?
It really blows my mind.
Where's the disconnect?
I think it's bananas. Because if you're going to sell your car, you will always go to the car wash first.
Right, exactly.
So it's the same thing when you're selling a house. You have to declutter, you have to clean, and you have to stage it properly. And the fact that some real estate agents still can't understand that, I just don't get it. And I don't think that successful real estate agents feel that way. I know that, especially in my area, everybody knows how important staging is a must.
Right.
In every single house, no matter what.
Yes. We are seeing some agents, thank goodness, over the last decade, there are actually agents now that won't even take a listing unless it's staged.
Right.
Because for me, it's like, why tie their hands? This is, you're marketing your number one asset. And you have to be able to market that so that demographic is going to move into your neighborhood. You want to be able to target market what you're doing and get the right person in there to buy it. It only takes one buyer. It used to be that let's open it up to make it appeal to the widest particular market. You really only need that one person to be able to make that offer.
Yeah, a lot of real estate agents in my area now pay for the staging themselves because they know it just makes their life so much easier.
It does.
And they always say, the first price reduction is always a lot more expensive than the cost of staging.
It is. And we do statistics through RESA. So we study homes from our real estate stagers, our members that report back to us annually about the houses they stage. And if you put it on the market first and you don't stage it, you spend literally like 8 months on average from our findings. And then they pull it off the market and they stage it and it sells in 43 days.
Right.
But if you stage it first, they sell in 23 days.
And think about the cost related to living in that house and not selling it, the mortgage, the insurance, the
Right.
upkeep.
Right.
People just don't.
They don't
think
put it
about
all
that.
together.
Right.
So it's amazing. So
why it's our job to do that.
Exactly. So what advice do you give to a stager to try to help get the point across about staging to the agent that's not getting it?
Statistics always, I think, speak to people. And I feel like for the most part, you can really, if you speak with passion, you can change people's minds.
Boy, when they sell that house and they see, like Barbara Corcoran a few years ago, you said, "Show the proof's in the pudding."
Yeah, true.
Exactly. Proof is in the pudding. Show them the figures, show them the statistics. And realistically, if you have an agent that's just not biting into it, move on to somebody else that does.
Right.
Keep speaking when nobody's listening, because eventually somebody's going to hear you.
Absolutely.
So let's switch gears a little bit, talk about women in business.
Okay.
Because this is
My passion
my
too.
passion too. So women in business. Typically, as a business coach, I find that so many women are really worried about their competition and focusing on all these outside collateral issues that really don't matter. What's your take on that?
I would be lying if I said that I don't worry about that myself sometimes. But I really have been lately, especially training myself to snap out of it, because especially being on TV, there's not a whole lot of us, so it's very easy to see what everybody else is doing. And this person's getting that job, why didn't I get that job? But what we were speaking about earlier, the sort of law of attraction is, to me, the most important thing, to get myself in the best possible position, whether that be mentally and physically.
Right.
So instead of worrying about what everybody else is doing, I get myself in a way that I feel good about myself and confident, so that I can get all of those great opportunities. Because when you start second guessing yourself, and I hear from a lot of women saying, I don't think I'm good. I think I'm a fraud.
Right.
What if they
What
find
if
out I'm
someone's
not
going to
really
figure
that
out
good? Yeah.
that I don't have that confidence?
And it's silly. You're your worst. You are your worst enemy by doing that. It's only going to create more struggles for yourself.
Right.
But it's just take one step at a time. You were saying earlier, you just have to stop thinking about your competition, and once you do, you'll realize little by little how it frees up your space so that you can attract better things.
It does. And the other thing too is I love my tribe of women that I surround myself with. I want other people that think about business the way that I do. And then the person that doesn't quite get it, I want to lift her up.
Right.
And Egypt Sherrod and I were talking last year.
I love her.
Do you love her?
I love her.
Oh my God, she's so great. She said, this blessing might not be for you.
Right.
It's not your time. Your time might have been last week to get something, and this person didn't. But that's someone else's blessing, and yours is coming.
I 100% agree. And now, especially because I'm a little bit older, in my 20s, every time I didn't get something I really wanted, it would be like
devastating. Right.
I could cry for days. And now when things that I really, really want don't happen, I realize there is a reason.
There's a reason.
I just don't know what that reason is right now.
Right now.
But
you got it.
Every time I look back, I go, oh, that's why.
That's why. And it's funny, again, the law of attraction, I'm really been focusing on now, I just wrote a book, and in the book, it's really teaching people to learn the lesson. So I often find too, when people are stuck, even in their business or your personal life, if you're stuck in something and you can't get to where it is that you want to go, there's a lesson that you haven't learned yet.
Right.
When those things keep happening over and over, the same thing, and you're like, why is this always happening? You haven't learned the lesson.
Right.
If you would take a step back and realize that the universe, this isn't happening to you, it's happening for you, that the universe could be setting something up to divert you from going in the wrong direction and to put you on the right path to the blessing that's waiting for you.
Right.
And if people can step out for just a few minutes to look at it from a bird's eye view, they can see it.
Yeah, I know it sounds easier.
It does.
Said than done,
does.
but it's just practice it. And what you were saying earlier about your tribe, when you're worrying so much about your competition, sometimes try to embrace your competition and maybe partner up. Women, I feel like we have to stick together
We do.
more.
We do.
And once you sometimes create that tribe, you will realize that you can support each other, and it benefits everyone.
It does. One of the great things about Reese is we have chapters throughout the US and Canada, and we are actually now going to launch a chapter in the UK and in Australia, so that's coming. Stay tuned for that. But this is women entrepreneurs, primarily women. We do have some men. But but they're all getting together in a chapter and they're having monthly meetings with speakers that will help them grow their business. They're supporting each other. They're not there trying to tear each other down. It's literally a tribe of successful women trying to promote everybody.
Right.
Because if we are all helping each other, it's so much better for the industry.
Absolutely.
Everybody raises the bar when you're all working together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're so proud of it. Let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
And what do you have going on? Because I know you have a bedding line, so you did, you have the bedding line and you were also spokesperson for Target. So let's
Yes.
talk about your bedding line, because I think it's now at HSN.
Yeah, I've spent the last year really working on my product design. So I have a bedding line at Target, a bedding line at Home Shopping Network. I have a line of organic mattresses coming out in a few months for kids and babies, and a line of diaper bags coming out in Nordstrom and Target, and a wallpaper line coming out in a few months as well.
That is awesome. I know we did an interview on my show, Stager Talk, and I thought you would be the perfect person to come out with kid things. Because
love
you're
it.
a new mom, and I know you love that.
It. I love it because I'm such a colorful person. I do not like to live in a world of beige, although that is saging. But I just love to play with patterns and colors, and I feel like it's so easy to bring that into a kid's space. Where adults, bedrooms, most people want to keep it neutral. Like kids, it's just
It's
so
fun.
much fun.
So much fun, and they love it. Well, I can't wait to check that out. And thank you, Sabrina, for being with us. We so enjoyed having you, and we really appreciate you.
I'm thrilled to be here.
Awesome. So, Shell Brodnax, Real Estate Staging Association, thanks for joining us, and happy staging.